for being here. As a courtesy to your fellow media members, as well as the coaches and student athletes, please silence your cell phones. Please provide your name and media affiliation each time you ask a question during the press conference. And for anyone joining us over Zoom, please raise your hand, use the raise the hand function for questions, and we will address the questions in the room first and then get to our Zoom calls afterwards. As a reminder, recording press conferences on cell phones or cameras is prohibited. So we'll go ahead and begin, and I'll start with Jerry. Would you like to ask the first question?
Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider, Trinity San Antonio. Good Texas name. Where does that come from? And just talk about y'all's winning streak that y'all been on. What the run that y'all been on?
So San Antonio, obviously my last name. Yeah. San Antonio, Texas, most of you know because we're in Texas. But yeah, just my dad's side of the family, Puerto Rico. That name has a stronghold in our lineage. There's a town called San Antonio in Puerto Rico. So, you know, just Puerto Rican. That's it. Yeah. Oh, the streak. I mean, it's been a good streak. We haven't really paid too much mind to it. We're just out here playing basketball, and, you know, we're racking up wins, but at the end of the day, you know, that's not what's really on our mind. We're just playing basketball.
All right. Nate?
Zach Smith, Waco Trib. You've gone up against plenty of other teams with bigger size and all that. What's your defensive mindset when you do go up against a team that is bigger than you?
We definitely went over some schemes and techniques when we go against bigger players. We definitely just also know to play smart, but we have our own techniques that Molly, our Coach Miller, and the coaching staff has been showing us the last few days. So we definitely have defensive techniques that we're working on.
All right. Jerry?
First time in the NCAA tournament, what was the excitement level? I mean, obviously when you won the tournament, you knew, but what was the excitement level just, you know, getting into the tournament and then, you know, getting your bid here?
This is Tier and I's both first time ever going to the tournament. So to know, like, after about 4 or 5 years for her that we finally got to put our work to show and kind of got here, I mean, it means the world that we're able to display on such a big platform what we can do and kind of give ourselves a chance to prove our name and prove that we can play basketball.
Yeah, it's actually very exciting. Like she said, it's our first time, not just for us, but also for the program. And to be in this position, it's different. So we've been on a little high and a lot of excitement the last few days.
All right, Zach.
Trinity, you've gone up against, you've gone up against some Big 12 teams and beat them. I guess what gives you as a team that confidence that when you go against a bigger school that you're not going to be intimidated?
Yeah, I think a lot of people can get caught up in the name. But at the end of the day, you know, it's basketball. It's a game of error. It's a game of play. So if we go out there and we play basketball, you know, it doesn't really matter who we're up against. At the end of the day, it's the game of basketball.
Jerry? Zach? All right. Anyone else? And we don't have anyone on Zoom, so I think that's all we need from
Cool.
you.
Thank you,
Get
guys.
to practice.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we just need to wait for Coach Miller. And just as an announcement, Hammond Communications will post a recording of this press conference in the NCAA Digital Media Hub at ncaa.veritone.com. Transcripts are provided by ASAP and will be posted shortly.
Hi, everyone.
You can start when you're ready. You ready?
Yeah, ready.
All right, everyone, we have Coach Miller here. And again, please say your name and media affiliation when you are called on for a question. And I'm going to start with Jerry Hill.
Hi, Coach. Jerry Hill, Baylor Bear Insider. First time for GCU. What was the excitement level? Obviously, you knew it after you won the conference tournament, but what was the excitement level like there?
Our kids were so fired up. I mean, they had worked hard. We said we're winning a championship in June, not March, and that's played its way through this whole season. There's a lot of pressures throughout the year, pressure to keep the win streak alive, pressure to be undefeated at home, pressure to win a regular season conference title, pressure to win a conference title. And they just handled that so beautifully. So I'm really proud of them, and they deserved all the joy that came with winning the conference.
All right, Zach.
Zach Smith, Waco Trib. Coach, Trinity was saying that a lot of people might get caught up in the name of the school. I guess when it comes to going up against a bigger team, you've beat a couple Big 12 teams. What is it about this team that they don't get intimidated? What is it about this team that keeps them level when the lights are the brightest?
I think they rely on their work that they've put in up until this point. This is a good practice team. I've really, really enjoyed practices this year because they put so much effort and intensity and work in. So at the end of the day, they're just going to rely back on that. And we always say be ourselves and do what has gotten us here. We don't need to change our identity at this point. Baylor's a really good basketball team that's got a lot of tradition. But I really have a lot of faith and trust in those 14 girls in the locker room.
Jerry?
Coach, just your thoughts on Baylor. Obviously, kind of a balanced team, has a lot of different scores. What are your thoughts on them?
Yeah, I mean, there's some pros on that team. And they've got a lot of depth, I think, in terms of switching up inside, outside. They're athletic. They'll try to get you out of your stuff. Very aggressive on defense. Pushes it in transition. They run a lot of the pro stuff with the two-man game, which is obvious. And then I think for us, it's got to be transition defense, guard the pick-and-roll game, and we've got to crash. We've got to create collisions to rebound against this team because they're very aggressive on the rebound. So if we get a good stop, our job's not done. We've got to start our offense by ending with a defensive board.
And Zach? Oh, Zach.
You've gone up against plenty of size this year. I guess what's your defensive strategy, when you do go up against a team like Baylor that is significantly bigger than you?
Team defense. We got to be scrappy. We got to work hard. Do our work early. I always say low man wins, so be really aggressive. It's going to take a team effort. So when we're flying around and we're in rotations, we got to be able to not only stop who we're guarding, but everyone else around us. And it's going to be a great challenge for us, understanding their interior presence, but also what they have on the outside to be ready. I say do both well. We got to guard the perimeter, but we also have to guard the interior.
Yes, ma'am.
Rachel Galligan, Big 12 Conference. Coach, if you could just kind of, in your own words, what would you say is the identity of this team this year?
We're relentless. I mean, relentless energy, relentless pressure. I think for us, we've found the key pieces and fit them all together really, really nicely. You can't just focus on one or two of our players because we've got someone that can shoot it really well out there. We've got some slashers. We also have a good inside presence. We got scrappy point guards that are getting after it on defense. So I think for us, we've just found a way to put the pieces together. We kind of check every box that you need on the floor to be a threat.
All right, thank you. Any other questions?
You talked about kind of those different things along the line with that streak. Did the streak itself ever become too big, or where they were just consumed with that, or how did you keep that from being the thing?
Our streak was always 0-0. So every time we finished, we said, what's our record? 0-0. Going into the championship game, what's our record? 0-0. Going into the final game of the non-conference, what's our record? 0-0. So that mentality, I think, helped us just stay stable and stay committed to the process. The byproduct was an undefeated conference season and 30 wins in a row, but all that came from the daily mindset and how we approached every day.
No. Any other questions? All right, well then I believe we're done. Thank you so much, Coach Miller.
Thank you all.
Thank you. And as a reminder, Hammond Communications will post a recording of this press conference in the NCAA